The following is a presentation of the Greater Ontario Hockey League.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome inside the Seymour-Hannah Sports and Entertainment Center, the home of the St. Catharines Falcons, for Game 7 of the second round of the GOHL playoffs as the Falcons play host to the Fort Erie Meteors, with both teams trying to head to the Eastern Conference Final for the second consecutive year. This is the third straight season that these two teams have matched up in the playoffs, and what a series this has been. 4 of the 6 games thus far have gone to overtime, including one to double OT, where a penalty shot led to the game winner for the first time in GOHL playoff history. Tonight shapes up to be an instant classic. Both teams exchanged wins in games 1 through 4 before Fort Erie took game 5 on the road. That win put the Falcons on the brink, but they were able to come away with the victory in game 6 in Fort Erie in overtime to force a 7th game tonight. In that game, it was call-up defenseman Trent Enns who scored the overtime winner in his 7th career GOHL playoff game. He spent this season with the U18 Hamilton Steel and has appeared in 10 games, regular season and playoffs, with the St. Catharines Falcons this year. Another guy who has scored an overtime winner in this series and has been a key contributor for St. Catharines is second-year forward Ali Mustafa. He scored the first overtime game-winning penalty shot in GOHL playoff history in Game 3 and has 5 goals in the series. Forward Dylan Atkinson has been a factor in this series as well. He's riding a 4-game point streak right now, with 5 of his 11 playoff points coming in round 2. On the back end, veteran D-man Jordan Schonbacher has continued his high-level production in the second round. He's got 4 multi-point games in this series, and his 8 power play assists this postseason are tied for first. In goal, the Falcons sent out 17-year-old Jacob Saranik. He's posted a .928 save percentage across 9 playoff games this year after a strong .906 mark in the regular season. Opposing him between the pipes for the Fort Erie Meteors is Laval-born goaltender Raphael Tremblay. Tremblay has been a big pickup for this Fort Erie team and is a .929 save percentage in the postseason. The Meteors' offense has been driven by the GOHL's leading playoff scorer, Danny Adamo. Adamo has 17 playoff points, 10 of which are goals, and had a game-tying penalty shot in the final minute of Game 6 to force overtime. Elsewhere, forward Evan Nicholson has been a strong performer for Fort Erie. The 16-year-old Kitchener Rangers prospect is on a 3-game goal streak and has 10 points in 9 playoff games. Illinois-born forward Dylan Greenwald is in his first GOHL season and has made an impact throughout the first 2 rounds. He's got 15 points in the playoffs and 5 assists in this series. Ahead of what promises to be a thriller of a Game 7, let's get to our coaches' comments. Powered by Milk, with Tyler Bealby from the St. Catharines Falcons and Nick Passero from the Fort Erie Meteors.
Really special to be a part of a Game 7 in the first place. But then this series is just different. Like, I've been coaching on and off for the better part of 20 years. It's now been 7 consecutive years here in St. Catharines, and we've won Southern Cups, we've lost in conference finals, been a part of a lot. I don't know if I quite remember a series like this. There's not much room to give. A mistake costs you the game. There's been 2 penalty shots that have ultimately been big deciders in those games or had big impacts. I don't remember seeing one in the regular season, never mind 2 in such an important series. Both teams want it. Both teams have respect for each other. We know a lot about each other. Nick and I have both been coaching in the league for quite some time now. So there's tendencies, and we know those tendencies. And so there's not much room to give. And that's what's made this series so special. I think if you take regular season, we're 61 games in, and then all the practices that come with that. And that's where the work's been put in for a night like tonight, right? Like, we've spent the whole year teaching and developing and building a culture in a dressing room for moments like this. So I think the message just has to be, worry about ourselves, worry about how we play the game, and execute and take a great deal of pride in what we do. And I think we do that, you end up on the right side of things.
If you're not nervous, you don't have a pulse. So I think just the thought of, the finality of it is kind of pushing the guys forward. But overall, I think our guys are ready. They know what needs to be done and the job that's at hand. And you know, like I just told them 5 minutes ago, their mistakes will be made tonight. Mistakes will be made, so be it. We're in this league for a reason, and you know, we're developing who we are as people and players, and it's just time to push forward. I think your best players got to be your best players on a night like this, and I have no doubt that, you know, Tonelli, Masterson, Lockyer, Schonbacher, Adamo will be the stars of tonight, and you know, and then you need guys like Nicholson and the goalies to step up for you. That's all. And like I said multiple times, they're kids, so everyone's going to react different to this pressure. And I think it's our job as coaches to see that right away and make our adjustments.
Tonight, these two teams try to clinch their berth in the Eastern Conference Final for their shot at the Tyson Downs Memorial Trophy. All-time, Fort Erie is 1-2 in Game 7s, the last of which came in 2024. That game was also on the road and clinched them their first ever Golden Horseshoe Conference title. 4 Meteors remain from that team on this year's roster. The Falcons, on the other hand, are 3-4 in Game 7s all time. Their last Game 7 was in 2023, and their last Game 7 win came in 2018. They're 3-1 all time in Game 7s at home. That trend is kept up across the board in the league. In GOHL history, home teams have won 31 of the 54 total Game 7s. It's the Falcons, it's the Meteors. They're facing off in a Game 7 for the first time ever with a trip to the Eastern Conference Finals on the line. We've got a packed house in St. Catharines, and it's a spotlight game. Puck drop is next on 519 Sports. Zimmerman sends it past far wall. Coley working in with a shot, just goes wide. Rebound there, just missed Gage Brandon. Falcons head the other way. 3-on-2. Elliott over the blue line. Elliott centering pass, chance down low, fanned on by Kissel. Good opportunity there for the right shot. Winger. Control off the draw. Schonbacher works in, takes the shot. Tremblay may have had a piece. Rims around the wall. It's Adamo. Danny Adamo with Easton Poirier. Adamo for Poirier on the backhand. Denied by Jacob Saranac. A big hit there, and then some pushing and shoving. Cross checks thrown down near the net. The intensity ratcheting up just over 8 minutes in to this first period. Greenwald. Stick handles, bobbles, loses possession. Atkinson in on the backhand. Denied by Tremblay, and he will hold on. Good chance there for Dylan Atkinson here in this first period. Caden Bell from his own zone. Bell starts the breakout here for the Falcons. Bell over the blue line. Bell fires a shot, scores! Caden Bell opens the scoring. 7:29 to go in the first period, and the rookie's got his third of the playoffs to give the Falcons the lead and ignite this crowd. Here comes Atkinson. Atkinson over the blue line, fires a shot glove save. Raphael Tremblay. Atkinson goes to crash the 40 crease, and Tremblay gives him a nudge. Falcons can't hold the line. It's Brandon out to center. Brandon chips it ahead to Adamo. Adamo back for Gage. Brandon on the backhand. Denied by Jacob Saranac, and he will hold on. Tonelli ties his man up below the goal line. Centering pass attempted. Comes up to Schmidt through traffic. That one blocked out front by Dewar. Now on the far wall, Masterson. He hit the goalpost. What a chance there for the Meteors. Comes back now to Lockyer. Lockyer for Mustafi. Ali Mustafi below the goal line. He takes a bump, tries to get it to Swan. Mustafi now up high. Arnold, a shot turned away by Raphael Tremblay. Then a big collision out front. Swan and Tremblay run into each other, and a penalty coming here. Cross-checking the call, and it looks like St. Catharines might be headed to the power play. Fans on the clearing attempt. Pressure from Mustafi hauled down. Fans wanted a penalty. Mustafi gets it out to center. Brandon looking for it. Now here's Swan. Swan's in over the blue line. Swan fires a shot. Tremblay says no problem, and he makes the save. Towards Petrovsky's got it on the near side. Petrovsky out to center. Here's Fisher. Fisher's over the blue line. Fisher into the corner. Drop past Petrovsky. Cross ice feed. Bell couldn't get a shot away. Throws it on goal. They score. It's Atkinson on the deflection out front. And St. Catharines is up 2 as Atkinson extends his point streak to 5 straight games. Looking to clear the zone, comes to Donald. Donald, high slot. Tonelli, left circle. Tonelli, down low. Chance out front. Saranac the save. Rebound denied. Chance down low. Tonelli back with it. That one just goes wide. Mad scramble out front. Kennedy already a shorthanded goal in these playoffs for the Falcons. Back in comes Tonelli. Little drop pass. Nicholson, a shot, misses the net. Schmidt on the rebound on goal. Ceranic makes the save as time runs down in the Swan penalty, and the Falcons kill this one off. Far circle. Lockyer. Up top, Schonbacher. Schonbacher walks the blue line. Schonbacher through traffic, tipped by Atkinson, loose in the crease, scramble for it. Meteors able to clear it. Comes back to the line. Bell looks to hold for St. Catharines. He will. Gets it to Lockyer. Down low Mustafi. Tries to get it to Atkinson. Mustafi hauled down. No call of the play. Back at 5-on-5. Atkinson's got it. Atkinson under siege. Tonelli rims it around the wall. Comes to Masterson. Facing pressure, loses possession. Falcons get it out to center. Now Thorpe is on it. Thorpe from his own end. Thorpe through neutral ice. Tonelli off the rush, takes a shot, saves Ceranic. Has some trouble with it initially, but he covers up the rebound. Tonelli working in. Tonelli stops up, peels back, feeds it up to Donald. Donald walking the blue. Donald to the left circle. Donald a shot glove save. Jacob Ceranic. Masterson for Schmidt. Back to Masterson. Masterson winds in, centers a pass, hits his skate. Kennedy looks to clear. Brandon, good pressure. Finds Masterson. Dying seconds, the power play. Schmidt lets it fly. Saved by Ceranic. Falcons look to head the other way. Racing through center, Lockyer. Lockyer over the blue line. Drop past Swan. Back for Lockyer in the slot. He's got space. He's denied. Rebound, Tremblay got it. Unbelievable. Raphael Tremblay, his two best saves of the night. Tonelli from his own end. 4 minutes gone here in this third period. Tonelli sends a pass to Adamo. Adamo, cross-ice feed. Brandon in space. Denied by Ceranic there. Up the wall towards Brandon. Dewar looking for it. Now Schonbacher. Schonbacher over the blue line. Drop pass. Dewar in space. Put it high. What a chance for Trayson Dewar to break this one wide open. Adamo in the corner. Falcons look to clear, can't do it. Out of the line, cross ice pass. Schmidt, Tonelli, toe drag shot, scores! The Meteors aren't out of this one yet. Sam Tonelli finds the back of the net, his fifth goal to the playoffs. It's a 2-1 game with 9:49 to go in the third, and the Meteors have life. Handled by the Falcons, banked off the boards, the line. Schmidt sends a pass. Tonelli works it, finds Schmidt. Schmidt winds into the shot, loose down low. Ceranic's got it covered. What a chance for the Meteors and R.J. Schmidt. A couple of deflections, but Ceranic keeps it out. Comes back to Schmidt. Schmidt throws it down low. Adamo works it along the wall. Adamo drops it back, Brandon. Cross-ice Schmidt one-timer. Another chance. Ceranic got a piece, and he kept it out. Donald for Nicholson. Nicholson over the blue line. Chips it over the blue line. Can't do so cleanly. Adamo's got it. Cross-ice. Scramble for it. Tonelli alone. Saves Ceranic. They score! Do you believe it? 14.6 on the clock. Fort Erie's tied the game. The Meteors have life. Unbelievable. Unfathomable. It's Danny Adamo jamming it home on the doorstep. And this one's not over. Fort Erie's season stays alive. Valancourt. Cross-ice feed. Masterson swings it down low. Meteors will drain the clock. And for the fifth time in 7 games, we are headed to overtime. You couldn't end it any other way as we head to the extra frame. Elliott holding, plays it down low, denied by Tremblay. Bannister back to Kissel. Kissel into space, trying to get it to Schonbacher. Now played by Valancourt, knocked out of midair. Here's a chance for the Falcons. Toe drag shot, save Tremblay. They score! They score! Rebound buried. Game over. Who else but Ali Mustafi to send the St. Catharines Falcons to the Eastern Conference Final for the second consecutive season. Pure elation at the Seymour-Hannah. It's Ali Mustafi finding the rebound in the blue paint. Can you believe it? Mustafi's second overtime winner of the series, his 8th goal of the playoffs, and the St. Catharines Falcons are moving on. The Falcons saluting this crowd. A season high, a packed house, not a seat to be had in the building. 3 rows of standing room in the lobby. What a crowd, what a game here in St. Catharines. What a series between these two teams. A battle through 7 games. Two of the premier franchises in the Greater Ontario Hockey League locking horns once again. 5 of 7 games going to overtime, including the deciding Game 7. What a battle between Fort Erie and St. Catharines. Two teams very familiar with each other in the Eastern Conference. What a season for the Fort Erie Meteors. A tremendous regular campaign and then a great run in the playoffs as well. Congratulations to them on a great year. We thank them for their support of 519 Sports this season. What a series between St. Catharines and Fort Erie, and the Falcons are moving on to the Eastern Conference Final.
Championships. We play for conference championships. We play for Sutherland Cups. They were merely in our way. But you had to earn it. You had to earn it every step of the way. Okay? That is the best series I've been a part of in my hockey career. And with a series that good, only one team can come on top. But do you know how good it feels for it to be us?
Obviously, everyone dreams of a moment like this. Game 7 overtime. You do it as a kid playing mini sticks, and I told our captain, unfortunately he wasn't able to play, but I told him that I'm going to get the job done for him, and that he will be playing the conference final. And when I scored that goal, that's the only person I could think about, and I'm so proud of everybody. I'm so proud of all the older guys we have, and so glad that they're able to keep pushing forward on this journey.
It was such a hard series. They're such a good team, and I think, those 5 overtime games is a lot on everyone, and I'm just so grateful we were able to win, and especially, just playing every game, and this being my first playoff series, it's so hard, and just winning that is just everything, and I'm just so grateful that we can go to the Eastern Conference Championship.
Without Jake, we are not even close to winning this series, and I remember I was on the ice in Game 6 in overtime when they had that 2-on-1, and Jake got back, and I've never seen him make such a save, and I knew in that moment that he's a winner and he will never quit. And like we said earlier, he's only a 2008, and the sky's the limit for this kid, and all the bounces that he has, and the tough season he had last year where he was barely playing it. He steps up this year, and he just got the job done for us, and I'm sure he'll keep doing that for us.
That was probably one of the most un-Moose goals I've ever seen. Moose is probably one of the best players in this league, one of the best shots I've ever seen. He's always working hard, getting better. And just to see him score that goal, especially just going to the house, it's everything. It was such a long series, and Moose has been putting up goals every single game and just giving me nice little relief in the net. So seeing him score that's amazing.
And all the respect to Nick for giving me that conversation. It's always easier for the guy who just won to say hello and shake a hand. It takes a good man in defeat to give you that time and shake your hand back. So credit to Nick for that. I've known Nick for a long time as an assistant coach. I coached against him when he was the captain of the Fort Erie Meteors. That's a young man who does things the right way. He's always done that for his organization, is giving them some of the best years that they've ever had as an organization with him being behind that bench. And I made sure he knew that, because it sucks. We all do this. We all feel losses, and we all feel the euphoria of winning. And in that moment, I wanted to make sure that Nick's head was up, because that's as good as it gets. He can't put the skates on. All he can do is have his charges ready, and I thought he did an excellent job of that all series. And I look forward to, competing again with Nick at some point.
First off, I think, we gave the fans the best series this league has seen in a long time. So I take a little bit of solace in that, not too much, but they just didn't go away in a way that maybe I not expected, but I just thought, over time we could wear them down, and we didn't. Every time we had to push, they had to push back, and obviously Game 7 can go either way, and I'm proud of my guys for the way they battled. Not easy to do, but like I said to the guys, I think we left a lot on the table. And that's going to eat at me specifically for a while. I don't know what went wrong, but it's my job to figure it out. For RJ, he moves down here, 17-year-old, never leaves. Just a guy that he's a glue guy, gets the team together, someone you need in your locker room. And, Thorpe, he's a local kid that, his dad was a Meteor, and 4 years he's been here. He works full-time, never misses practice, never says a word. Owen Cressman comes here from 2 other teams, finds a home. Takes him a while, takes him a full year to really fit in. Sam Tonelli just gets here in the most pressure-packed moment. We're vying for a championship, and he solidifies things. And then he has the 2 greatest seasons probably in Meteor history. And then Rylan. Being a Meteor is everything to me. It's been my whole life, but it means more to Rylan to be a Meteor. It's crazy. It's unexplainable. To be a Meteor means everything to me and my family, and it means more to him. It's crazy.
It was an absolute roller coaster of a ride. Like I said, I think it was the best series this league has ever seen. To go to Game 7, and of course to go to our 5th overtime. It's unwritten. It's unbelievable. It's just crazy how you can go 5 overtimes in 7 games. It's just unbelievable. 4 of our wins came in overtime, and we just knew that we couldn't quit. They were a great organization over there. They're a great team, great group of guys, and I just think that it was just we were closer at the end of the day, and we just wanted it a little bit more. There were so many ups and downs throughout the series. Losing our captain for 4 of the games is really tough to do. He's a huge piece on our back end, and we were able to get the wins that we were needed in order to move on to this next round, in order for him to be back in our lineup. That was a big one. We fought a lot of adversity. Lost Game 5 at home, had to go to Game 6 and battle on the road in order to keep our season alive and keep the series alive, and we were able to do so. Especially even, they got that penalty shot in the last 30 seconds, and it was a heartbreaker for us, but we knew we got to stick with it, and we did. And that's honestly what the biggest thing is our team is just so close, and we're just so tight that honestly, any up and down, any adversity that we face, we keep an even keel, is what we kind of like to say. No highs too high, no lows too low, and we just like to just stick with it, stick with the process. It's all part of the script is kind of what we like to say, and we're just built for it, and we're just ready to go for next round.
It was just a battle, back and forth, just such a hard series, and so it's just all about grit and heart, and that's what takes the win. I was on the bench, Ali he drives me to every game. I love him. He's a great guy. I was just really happy for him to score that. He always scores the OT winners, and great for him.
We were very fortunate to have Caden come our way. The top draft pick of the Niagara Ice Dogs, and they wanted a year for his development, and I think in particular to allow him to mature and gain a little man strength and learn how to compete below the goal line and really defend hard. Anybody who watched this series would tell you he's ready. That's exactly what he did. I'm proud of his goal. I'm proud of his points. The last few games in particular, when we were facing elimination twice, he showed up. Not our our older guys show up, of course, but our youngest guy in our dressing room helps lead the way. 2 points out of the 3 goals tonight. I've been around a lot of dressing rooms. I've been around enough groups to kind of get a feel for them and what their character and their resolve is. 5 overtime games out of the 7 in the series, and we won 4 of them. I don't know what much more proof we need as far as the character goes in our room. To go to overtime 5 times and walk away with 4 of the wins, especially when 2 of them had us down and out to end the 3rd period, to pick our head back up and find a way. So proud of them, because game 6, they score on that penalty shot. We're going into the change room, and we're all thinking the same thing. Does it have to be this hard? The answer is yes, it does. Same thing tonight. Does it have to be this hard? Do we have to give up that goal with 13 seconds? Yeah, it does. These boys want to win a Sutherland Cup. They're not going to do that without learning the toughest lessons. And tonight they learned one inside 30 seconds in the 3rd period and had no choice but to find a way to extend their season so they can learn and not make those mistakes again. Extremely proud of those guys. We do play for conference championships and Sutherland Cups. You can get lost in a series like this against Fort Erie. It's only the 2nd round. We have a lot of work still to do. We're going to enjoy it tonight, and we got to get right back to work tomorrow.
Now we're off to the conference championship. Put it on the line.